Hello everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Occult Chronicles. We left off, Craig Holden was beginning to become more powerful. And after gaining a bit of wands and cups and pentacles, we're now doubling back and beginning to try to complete the few quests that we left behind earlier. We were also 1/6 toward the loss of the game. Another 10 story tokens before we fail. Last episode, we picked up the Tower as a new trump card, giving us +1 cups, which is amazing. And I think that's generally about it. I'm now slowly working toward picking up a heroic defensive feat, and I'm walking around looking to complete a few more quests. Okay, so what do we want to do now? This may end up joining this hallway. So I'm thinking, well, let's investigate this hallway first. If it does go up this way, then I can come back. If it doesn't, ends up being a small room, then I can instead come back, double back this way to complete a few different quests or interact with a few of these things, and then take the staircase to get back to the other side of the mansion. We might be able to do decently on the second floor now. All right, so let's get started. It's gonna be a trap in this hallway, isn't there? A spray of darts. You feel your foot step down on the pressure plate and then hear the pneumatic sounds of darts being shot through blow tubes. You catch a glimpse of the deadly swarm of needle-tipped killers heading your way. We are much better at dodging the traps now that our cups are higher. Let's go ahead and try to observe the darts and respond. Notice what you think is a gap in the wall of darts heading your way. You decide to crouch into it. That's a good hand for a trap. We have a King of Pentacles, a Queen of Cups, and 2 Knights. We only have 2 number cards, actually. And being able to take the Page of Cups with a Queen of Cups will ensure that we win, and we're a little over the target number. This is looking rather well for us at the moment. You position yourself so that all the darts miss you completely. Right, we also had picked up our first Aura of Luck, whatever it's called, at some point. I think it was a locked door challenge. So now we're a little more lucky than we used to be, which means we have a better chance of getting, well, more Auras of Fortune and increased experience points and other rewards. So we picked up another one of these. This is why it's important to do well in the traps. They have a great chance to give you Auras of Fortune. Alright, well, let's spend that 1 point of experience. There we go. Ah, okay, so it is just a room, a drawing room. Let's see what's in this. Book on stand. You notice a large tome set on an ornate reading pedestal. It's apparent that the book is bound in human skin. You have seen such things in the odd special collections. You feel a presence nearby. Yes, you are being watched, but the strongest emanation is from the tome itself. You could swear that it is alive. Is it breathing? No, that must be your imagination. We can gain a spell from this, in addition to arcane power. I think we will take the risk and read it. I think the spell we gain is we automatically gain a spell for successfully interacting with the book. If we fail, though, we run the risk of being driven insane. But we'll go ahead and make the attempt. We could use another spell. Your training has included research into countless forbidden tomes. You can read a dozen dead or lost languages. Perhaps you can find some useful information here. Ooh, I've had better hands than this. We'll have to hope for a wands, and preferably a high wands card here, in order to make this worthwhile. Otherwise, we're failing this challenge. Right, we win, which is what we needed to do here. Unfortunately, that's not very much over the target number. At least we'll earn a spell, which is what we wanted. You begin to read the tome and realize that you have established a mind link with an evil intelligence that resides within. Your will is stronger, and it bows before you, revealing new vistas and hidden knowledge. That's a shame. You can get some good cards from that. I think you also gain more trump cards, but we just didn't draw very well. So we picked up a new spell. Let's take a look at that really quick. And by the way, we have Hyborian Lightning, which is a Hyborian spell. Shrivel Flesh is also Hyborian. We have an Eldritch with Lumerian Fire, and another Hyborian with Sulfur. What does this do? Roll 1 bone and select a non-face card in your hand to discard, and then add the numerical value of that card to X random non-face played cards of the same suit. So this is the exact same thing as Hyborian Lightning, only Hyborian Lightning does that to cards in my hand, and this does it to cards outside of my hand. Okay. So, not the best spell in the world either. That's a real shame. So, these spells, I am not really happy with them. Lumerian Fire Lumerian Fire is even garbage too. So, Shrivel Flesh is the only decent spell that we have so far. We're going to need to take a Sorcery Edge to improve the Hyborian spells to make them worth casting. We're basically just going to be kind of brute forcing through things with our 5 pentacles at this rate. Okay, we should be able to, I think, talk with the big game hunter ghost now. We cannot. We still have to fight him or flee. So the game might not have spawned the first part of this quest for us. So we're gonna gun him down. Haha. All right. So no bullets are gonna put this guy down. You will have to do it the old-fashioned way, with your mind. Oh, it's not okay. This is average. We have some high number cards, a page and a knight. We also gained an ace, which gives us 1 free point. But it's not working out for us at all at the moment. I think I'm willing to take a hit here. Oh, or we'll win. That's even better. Okay, we'll win with 2 points over. You surprise him with the ferocity of your attack. He realizes too late that you never really let down your guard. You are both surprised and disappointed at this. A psychic talent. Interesting. Okay, let's look at that. So this is the equivalent of a spell, but it's used for psychic characters. We are a spellcaster, not a psychic. We don't have a wand of bones yet. A wand of bones? A bone of wands at the moment. What does this do? Roll 1 bone and select a not revealed trick card to discard it and gain X points to your trick-taking score, where X is the number of wands rolled. Gain 3 additional points if it is a face card. That's really nice, actually. We may be going with psychics in the end. This is a really nice card, because this would just let me gain points. That's amazing. And we gain additional points if it was a trick. Wow. And it can be used for combat, human, animal, monster, eldritch, demon, or psychic challenges. We have a chance to get another encounter in here. This might allow us to search the cabinets for a weapon. So let's search it. Old broken gun cases. You notice several old broken gun cases. Upon closer examination, you see a scattered assortment of mostly antique weapons through the glass panes that enclose the boxes. We don't have a good chance to win this, but if we do win it, we will be able to get a gun for free. So we'll make the attempt. Most of the weapons appear to be old and broken and useless to you. You decide to spend a little time rummaging around to see if there's anything salvageable. Well, we're not going to do this unless we get extremely lucky. Oh, and we might get extremely lucky. We only have to get one more success. We do. Wonderful. You find a few good candidates that might be salvageable. We gain Occult 45. Yeah, we're guaranteed a ranged weapon of some sort for the success. Well, that means maybe I don't want to take the psychic challenges. Maybe I want to actually take physicalness, a physical trait, a ranged weapon character. So as you can see here, using this weapon in combat, we get to bump the card down on a random revealed non-face trick card by 3 points. We have to use this at the beginning of the fight. It also gives us the option to use double tap, which will use some bullets, but will lower the difficulty of a challenge, of a physical challenge. Basically, it will be swords, swords, wands if I decide to do that. It's a nice option for us to have, and it's why I also chose a card that gave me a bone. I'm sorry. It's why when I began my character creation, I chose a bone of swords. We can use the gun right now without needing to wait. Okay, so last time I left this alone. Let's review the text. It's been I think 2 episodes by now. Having dispatched the foul interdimensional monstrosity, you look around and immediately recognize the thing's handiwork. It's been working on creating assistants called brain bots. On the table is a canister containing a human brain. You can't be sure if the thing is even alive or anymore. The body has obviously been destroyed. It's kept alive by a network of power cables. Why this one was singled out and not put directly into a crab bot is a mystery. Was it being tortured or interrogated? Let's try to communicate with it. We could also, as you can... Oh, so let's cover this really quick. So we could destroy the brain physically by attempting to smash the tubes or the thing it's in. However, we could also use our gun, which as you can see, gives us 1 less difficulty, 1 more trick, and 1 more card draw. So, this is because of the gun, our Colt 45. That's the name of a beer, I think, as well. I remember my father used to drink that a lot. Alright, anyway. You notice some odd lights and switches on the outside of the brain canister. You might be able to configure them and see if there's some way to talk to this thing, assuming it is still alive and sane. Well, it's not the best hand again. We don't have any... We have 1 face card and it's a pentacle. But we might be able to still do this. You fiddle around with the switches and stare amazed at the technology that went into constructing this canister. Suddenly, a circuit hums into life, and the brain starts talking to you. Oh, that was lucky. 1 experience point. Greetings! I wasn't sure that you'd manage it. I would beg that you destroy me. I have been drained of most of my knowledge, and my tormentor was only prolonging my agony as punishment. But first you must ensure that no more of its kind can venture into our dimension. Nearby you will find a machine that powers its gate. Destroy it, please. I will give you the codes to do so. I was able to learn them from the Telesrati as he probed and then devoured my mind. So much lost. Return here after you have done this. I want to know that it is destroyed. Then you may put me out of my misery. That quest is usually found in the garden, which is back on this side of the mansion. So we will continue exploring it this side, and then we will double back to that side by taking the staircase, I think. The creature does not seem able to leave its chair, being partially melded into the back of it. You think you hear something. The burnt corpse talks in the slightest audible whisper. Its mouth barely moves. Don't smoke. So, we have a quest here to grab some of its fingers. Let's make the attempt. This thing seems almost seared into the chair. The fingers are what catch your eye. So this is what the gentleman ghost meant. They do indeed look like cigars. You decide to grab a bunch of them. As usual, we only get 1 face card. We also get 2 aces, a 3, a 4, and a 6, besides our Queen of Pentacles, so this was just god-awful. I am willing to fail this challenge once. Let's risk the Queen being useful later. Well, those cards wouldn't have been useful anyway. That was well played, Tim. Well done. You snatch a few of the fingers and put them in your pocket. Not able to leave its chair, the creature howls in anger. We can ring the gong now, if I so wish, but we will leave it alone. I will be coming back here later, and I want more stats before I attempt to ring the gong. It activates a rather long quest, which I won't be able to leave this spot until I finish it, if I decide to go through with it. You get an okay edge at the end of it, but there's lots of experience and other cards you can earn by doing that quest, so I will return later. Now, it's dangerous to be up here. I don't know if we're ready for any of these encounters. I think we can try one encounter and see how well it goes. And if it doesn't go well, we can try running, and then we'll just take this to the other side of the house again. A bookshelf. You see rows and rows of books. Most of the material is quite pedestrian and what you would expect to find in the library of a large estate like this. However, occasionally you come across an item that is more esoteric, and you wonder what secrets and knowledge might be hidden here. You never know unless you look, of course. There's a good chance we can earn a spell if we succeed at this. But I think we'll leave it alone until we're a little more powerful than our current level. We found another clue. You found some very odd printed material detailing the benefits of initiation into an unnamed cult. It's like the Red Hands continuing their propaganda. A living gargoyle statue. Your attention is drawn to a large stone statue of a truly horrific and bizarre-looking gargoyle. It sits on a pedestal with its arms wrapped around its legs. You feel a sudden shock shoot down your spine as you notice its eyelids blink open. The stone statue is alive. You fight to control a growing tide of fear that is sweeping over you. We get 1 free point because it's a horror check. And we drew an ace. Okay, that's pretty good. Your mind is strong. You see things far worse than this. Guess the Red Hand kept gargoyles around as defenders. The gargoyle stretches itself out and unfurls its large wings. You note its razor-sharp claws. Before you realize it, it moves forward to attack you. So I'm thinking... Oh, wow, well, no. It's probably best that we use sorcery against it. Sometimes it's best to fight fire with fire. In this case, you think your sorcery can dispel the energy that is animating this creature. It's not the best chance with only 5 tricks, but it's much better than attacking it. This thing has, I think, that pearl in it that we would want for the knight of the suit of armor. That's a good draw. A king of swords, a queen of swords, a king of cups, and a queen of pentacles. The other cards are very low, but hopefully we won't have to care. Oh, and the level 2 music is playing. That's wonderful. We've won. Awesome. Let's keep going. You unleash a wave of sorcery that rips the gargoyle apart. You wonder if you are that good, or whether this is some type of trap. Oh, we didn't get the... Oh, no, Tim. This was part of a different quest. This was part of a different quest. You already got the pearl for this. Okay. Well, that's a shame now. You just destroyed this. There was a coin that would have given me for a different quest. Okay, well, it's too late now. Now, I usually take Calm Sidestep as my evade trap, and we're going to take it again. So, this works a little similarly to the psychic power we picked up. We get to roll a bone. In this case, it would be a cups, I think. It might be a wand, but I think it has to be a cups bone. And then we reveal the trick card. If it was a face card, I get to add 2 times the number that I rolled on that bone, and then draw a card. So we're going to select this. And next, I think we will grab a sorcery edge. Yes, and then we'll increase our wands. We're just going to walk through this place briefly and see what's here, but I'm not going to interact with too many things. This is where I expected to have the other encounter that the big game hunter ghost would give us in this trophy room. Right here, actually. The attic! We'll step upstairs briefly just to mark it. The attic is even tougher than the second floor, so I don't think we're ready for it yet. A wall of trophies. Your attention is drawn to a wall covered in mounted trophy heads. You recognize some of them as big game animals, but others are truly bizarre creatures. You see among others what might be a giant's bat's head, a fishman of some sort, and a creature that could only be called a troglodyte. As you come closer, a growing sense of unease begins to dominate your thoughts. You are startled, and a chill shoots down your spine when you realize that the trophies are watching you. Their heads all turn slightly in unison as you approach. Very creepy. Your eyes widen in disbelief as you realize that the trophies are all mounted on the wall are possessed by spirits. I messed up that sentence. You can feel them probing your psychic defenses as they try to get into your head. Okay, so we killed the big game hunter ghost. The game hunter ghost can give you a quest to kill a stuffed polar bear and bring its head to this wall and mount it. But the heads can give you a quest to go and kill the big game hunter ghost. So because we killed the game hunter ghost first, we will be unable to complete the head's quest. Because we have to take his head and bring it to this wall. Your eyes widen in disbelief as you realize that the trophies are all mounted on the wall. Oh, I already did this. Wow, that's a bad hand. No face cards, an ace, and 2 10s. We might be lucky enough to still resist the horror challenge. We're not. Your mind is weak. The spirits brush aside your defenses and all start talking to you at once. It's enough to drive one mad. Now we're losing 3 sanity instead of the normal 1 or 2 because our sanity is 37. The trophies gaze down at you with pleading eyes. You can sense that some of them want to make contact with you psychically. Others look like they would like to tear you apart if they had a body with claws or could get their fangs on you. There is definitely some type of strange sorcery involved here that is binding these spirits to the trophies. You can feel a wave of anger building slowly in the psychic space of this room. Someday, it's going to explode. So, we can flee it. We don't have a good chance of that, actually. But I think it's in our best interest to try to dispel... Why on earth is that so high, game? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm still amazed at how difficult some of these challenges are for physical people. We'll go ahead and use sorcery to dispel the spirits. You have some experience driving spirits out of physical items. There are several ways to go about this, and you think you might know a Cardassian release spell that will work. Let's do it. Nice, Tim. 6 over. You discover a weakness in the chaining spell and exploit it. The spirits seem to be helping you, and soon cracks emerge. The spirits escape in a stampede from their physical prisons. Oh, is that right? Yeah, physical prisons. Okay. Oh, getting nothing for that. Normally, I have quite a bit more for our character. We're getting really unlucky with the rewards. And, well, we have a few good rewards. In particular, the trump cards we picked up. 2 of the better ones. But our spells are really lackluster. And we haven't gotten much experience points. Oh, pair of scything blades. Suddenly, you look up and see 2 scything blades racing down the hallway at you. They are razor sharp. And you suspect that they might be able to cut you in half. You don't see anything coming at you in a stagger at a lower level. You decide that the smart move is under the blades. With 2 kings, we're likely to win this challenge. Wow, we actually got to use the 4 and win some more points. Shame we couldn't use the King of Pentacles, though. You drop to the floor quickly, just as the blade grazes your head. I do like this useful. We'll explore the workshop while we're here. Sometimes you can find some dead bodies here, which could prove useful. The bas-relief face. You have come up a large bas-relief face mounted on the wall. One second, everyone. Sorry about this. It's important. Okay. Its features are worn and it looks quite old. As you stare at it, you start to feel uneasy. Suddenly, you realize that the mouth is moving, its lips ever so slightly, and then you hear the mumbling. It starts as a whisper, but you can't get it out of your head as it grows in intensity. If this keeps up, you are certain that it will drive you insane. You fight to keep the mumblings from overwhelming your mind. You can't understand any of it, but the droning noises seem to want to burrow deep into your skull, and that can't be good. You begin your own chant based on the Zen relaxation technique you learned in the Orient. It works to cancel out the mumbling and clears your mind of the pain. The face on the wall looks amiable, but you know otherwise. The lips continue to move, but the mumbling is barely audible. Examining the bas-relief more closely, you notice that there is a pictograph script of some sort disguised within the frieze that encircles the face. You sense eldritch sorcery at work here. The bas-relief could be enchanted or cursed, or merely serving as a physical nexus of some malevolent force. You realize that you should proceed with caution. You decide to take a closer look at the strange pictograms hidden in the frieze that surrounds the bas-relief face. You think you recognize some of the symbols as variants on the Indus Valley seal stones. Perhaps you can decipher them. Decipher them? They might help you understand the strange mumbling, or perhaps even warn you of any danger from the eldritch sorcery that permeates the face, actually, Tim. So let's pay attention to the difficulty here of listen to the mumbles, because I think deciphering the frieze will make this slightly easier for us to do. This face will give us a quest, so I want that quest. Let's see if we can succeed at this. Oof. No face cards. Let's fail the challenge and hope for a better hand, a draw. We might be punished severely for this, but I'm going to take the chance. Your attempt to decipher the pictograms make little progress. The symbols seem jumbled and confused. We'll try again. It's not much better. This is going to be 3, 4, 5, giving me 7. That's 2 over. We'll succeed. You step closer and examine the pictograms. They are indeed related to the seal stones of the Indus Valley. You piece together their meaning by recalling your training in the odd Lost Languages lab. The eldritch creature is known as Seskixmologath, and it has been bound to the face as punishment. The mumbling must be its attempt to communicate with you. Aware that you must proceed with caution, you focus your mind and try to attune yourself to the rhythmic cadences that issue from the lips of the bas-relief. Perhaps something can be gleaned from what appears to be just dangerous gibberish, and it actually made this more difficult by 1. Really? Okay, I'm gonna fix that as well. And we get only 1 face card and a bunch of low-level numbers. Oh, but that is very nice. She's worth 4, he's worth 3, that's 7, that's 2 over. You slip into a trance and the words take shape in your mind. You are face to face with an ancient eldritch creature of terrifying power, and its name is Seskixmologath. It is, however, trapped in the bas-relief. It wants to strike a bargain with you. That's awesome. The bas-relief face seems to almost be smiling at you, and it makes you uneasy. The smile belies the agony that it must be in. The mumbling's meaning now seems crystal clear. Its heart has been ripped from it and hidden somewhere in the house. The sorcery binding it cannot be broken until the heart is returned to it. It wants you to seek out the wall that weeps blood and reach inside to find and free its heart. It teaches you the words of release and promises you that you will be rewarded should you help it free itself from the face. I just realized I should have taken a bone of cups next, but We'll be okay. Oh yeah, let's take a look at that, by the way. I didn't show off the heroic feat. Here it is. Oof, we got unlucky. It's only starting with 3 courage. So we definitely want more courage somehow. Well, we can get it from defeating cultist guardians. A group of guardians emerges from the shadows. They seem to be exceptionally stealthy. They must be scouts or guardians for some organized group that has taken up residence here. This group looks particularly dangerous. They seem well trained, well armed, and by the look of them, well organized. You can't tell exactly how many there are, as they move in a tight formation to hide their numbers. They may look like the cultist version of ninjas, but not even ninjas can easily dodge magical spells. Ooh, we have a decent hand, actually. Quite a few face cards. Let's play the queen. I'll take the risk that the knight is not going to show up. Ooh, that was lucky, Tim, grabbing the 4 before he took the King of Swords. You won the battle. The cultists' withered bodies lie strewn across the floor. Maybe you can find something useful on them? Nope. I thought I fixed this text, but to be fair, there are 2 cultists' guardians, so this must have been the second one. To experience will come in handy, we can grab a sorcery edge. Now, before we do that, we're gonna look at our spells really quick. Let's see. We have 3 Hyperborean, so we should totally take a Hyperborean spell edge. Actually, I'm very quickly going to go back to the main menu. I just wanted the game to save before I do this, in case I misclick. Okay, so let's take it. Now there are lots of very useful spells here. Edges. I'm interested though in the here we go. I think. Let's see. No, I don't want that one. This is what I want. Hyperborean Magus. Whenever a spell of the Hyperborean subtype is cast, non-face cards can be bumped up to a face card as follows. At level 1, a page. At level 2, a knight. Level 3, a queen. At level 4, up to a king. All the spells we have right now, I believe, Hyperborean spells, increase what cards we have, either on the board or in our hand. I'm sorry, 2 of them do for Hyperborean. But I think I want that. So let's grab this. Normally I actually don't select those. Or rather, I'm sorry, let me rephrase. I do grab them if I feel I'm forced to. And here, because our spells are just so-so, I think that's our best effort. That's our best effort? That's the best option we have to make these spells work for us. So now, for example, Hyperborean Lightning can actually make cards into pages. So I don't need to use Shriveled Flesh. I can use Hyperborean Lightning to do the same. With 1 more point in that edge, I'll be able to convert them into knights instead of pages. So, well, I'm saying the wrong thing. It makes sense, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I'll be able to increase pages to knights automatically. I don't think Shriveled Flesh will work that way. But these can be nice too. Rain of Sulfur and Hyperborean Light will prove useful. That's a really awkward looking single space. I think we'll check the big room. This could be the zombie in the bathtub, which will prove to be very difficult for us. It could also be a wrench or a ghostly plumber. The thing in the bathtub. You hear water dripping, then you notice the bathtub. As you approach, you start to get a bad feeling. The tub is full, and you can hear something moving in it. Suddenly, a figure lurches out of the brackish water and slumps over the side of the bathtub. Empty sockets stare out at you. You've seen your fair share of the undead, but this thing still gives you the creeps. I think this is based on a... what is that? Resident Evil is the game. Oh, nice. We survived the horror challenge. Your mind is strong. So you think things far worse than this. The undead creature is fully clothed, but the fabric of its dress is wet and rotting away. You have no idea how long it's been lying in its tub. It turns its head towards you, and a tongue of some sort darts out of its decaying skull and seems to lick fleshless lips. You guess that it wants a snack. Now, I did not mod this creature, so I'm forced to use attack it, and as you can see, that is ridiculously difficult. I think we'll just try to run away. And we fail. You turn to run, but your feet come out from under you on the slimy, wet floor. It tries to pull you into the bathtub. We lost 1 courage. We'll try to run away again. You carefully step backwards and then turn and make a dash for it. You hear the thing sink back into its bathtub. I plan on removing the courage loss penalty from fleeing because I'm not afraid. I just can't kill it. It's not completely possible. I'm sorry, it's not possible at all for us. So the rest of that bathroom will remain unsearched. What's in this room? Oh, creeping madness. And I made that sound happy. As the alignment of the heavens approaches, the high priest has become more and more erratic. All challenges that involve pentacles as the primary suit receive a +1 modifier to the number of trick cards placed on the board. Well, this story icon's icon, that tune, that dun dun dun, that is a good tune. So that means that this is a positive story token. And just in time, I think, a class 3 full roaming vapor. You see an odd, softly glowing light in the gloom. It seems to be coming closer. Then suddenly, its shape becomes clear. You see the billowing outline of what was once a woman dressed in 19th century clothing. But there is no substance there. She is a ghost. A brush with the supernatural is always disconcerting, no matter how many times you experience it. You must fight to keep your sanity. It's not a terrible hand. Having a Queen of Cups is useful. Your mind is strong. You see things far worse than this. A textbook case of a Class 3 full roaming vapor floats out in front of you. The Class 3 has no discernible remnants of its previous life. It's basically a raw supernatural spirit with the most meager of anthropic trappings, bipedal shape, and sometimes clothing. It starts to zigzag towards your position as if it was chasing something. These hauntings can be dangerous if provoked, so the only way we can deal with it is actually psychically, not magically. I think we will still make the attempt. Oh, that is terrible. Why can I use... Oh, wait, did I pick a Wand of Bones? Bone of Wands? I did. I thought I grabbed a Bone of Swords when I made my character. Okay, so we can use Dominate then. I think we should. Let's use it. Select a not revealed trick card, discard it, and add X points to your trick-taking score, where X is the number of wands rolled. Gain 3 additional points if it's a face card, but we have to roll under our wand score, which we did not. So much for that. And that was the card I was going to select too, so that really sucks. Wow. Terrible. We might be taking an impairment here. You shouldn't have provoked it. Okay, so let's try again. No face cards in her hand. Let's not use this psychic talent this time. You shouldn't have provoked it. Oh, God. 1 hit point. That's still not that bad. Okay. Again. Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles. We'll try using Dominate again. Oof, well, that sucks. I better select a face card. And it wasn't. Okay. So that card's discarded. It's gone. Thankfully, it was just a swords card, so it didn't really matter for us. And we earned 1 point for that. Oh, nice. But we still do win in the end. I'll talk a bit about psychic talents when I'm done with this. Your mind gets the upper hand after a brief struggle and simply folds the ghost up on itself. It disappears without a sound. Psychic talents don't require any courage or arcane power or bullets to use. They're just free. Or so you might think. Psychic talents add some sort of special... It's like psychic pushback to your character. which slowly decreases over time. You don't get to see how much psychic pushback you have, but the more pushback you have, the greater the chance of absolutely horrible things happening to you. So you generally want to avoid using psychic talents every single encounter. Alright, we fought these before. This is a class 1 haunting, so we got rid of this ghost, and then, we got rid of the previous ghost, and now a new ghost shows up. The haunting manifests itself as a dim ball of light. It has no sense of its previous life or existence. It wanders, hopelessly lost. You should exercise caution. These haunts cannot be reasoned with, and they can be lethal if disturbed. You decide to use your psychic talents to dispel the ghost and send it to the spirit world. It will most likely resist. Oh, that's a shame. Could use our queen. You engage in a psychic duel with the ghost. It turns its mindless anger and desperation against you, but you prevail. You feel that whatever it was would thank you for the peace you gave it. Getting really, really unlucky with the experience. We're 1/4 of the way in, and we are not very strong yet. Hopefully, when we turn in all these quests, that will work out better for us. Oh, hello. This could be a clock. It could also be a creepy mortician. Oh, creepy mortician. You see a human figure lurking in the darkness, and you don't like the look of it at all. It steps forward from out of the gloom. You are confronted with a strange and unusually tall man who towers over 6.5 feet. He seems dressed like a mortician of some sort. He opens his hand to reveal a spiked shiny sphere that miraculously hovers out of his palm. He smiles and in a creepy voice says, "I've been waiting for you, boy." I have no idea if I'm quoting it correctly. This is based on a movie called Phantasm. I have not seen that movie. I just am aware of what this is because you viewers have remind me whenever he shows up. So thank you very much, by the way, for that. You have seen a lot of strange things, but this one is right up there. You have the feeling that there is a story here that is just the tip of the iceberg. Hello, King of Cups. Wow, awesome. Your mind is strong. You've seen things far worse than this. After all, you were part of the first odd team to breach a dimensional barrier. This guy and his gizmo don't scare you in the least. 4 courage tokens. Wonderful. What the heck? 8 courage. Enough to completely power Calm's sidestep. The strange man continues to approach you, striding forward with an unnatural gait. The spiked ball now launches itself at high speeds towards you. Normally, the only option you have is to attack him. And I suppose in our case, we do have stopping power. I have added a spell option and a psychic option to dealing with him as well. We'll go ahead and invoke spells to counter him. Sure, he's got a floating bladed sphere of death, but you've got real magic to deal with this sort of thing. Well, we don't really if I don't draw any good cards. Okay, so seeing as swords, we will try using Shrivel Flesh. We succeeded in casting the spell. We gathered the power necessary. We cast a 6. We still fail. We succeeded. We'll select... Oh, why can't I select a 10? Is there a reason why I can't select a 10? Oh, it's random, I suppose. So I can't select the... Okay. Whatever. Oh, I can select the 10. I just have to select all 3 cards. That's weird. Alright, we turn them all into pages. Wonderful. And let's go ahead and play one. Well, that sucks. Oh my god, so it didn't matter. We did help reduce the damage we're about to take. The floating ball torments you, slicing open a new wound. You hear the strange man laugh in delight. We can actually end up getting a wound from this challenge. Hopefully we won't. That's a point of damage, that's not a wound. Okay, thank God. We'll try again. Oh, come on, game. An ace and 2 2s and a 3. With only 1 face card. We're not gonna win this, I think. Especially not when the cards showing up on the other side are really strong cards. The floating ball torments you, slicing open a new wound. Okay, this is much better. 2 kings are in our hand this time. Of course, we have to use our page on a knight. Let's cast Visual Flesh again. You're kidding me, game. You're not going to give me a pentacles or wands? Oh, game. Ugh. Well, our real magic is failing horribly here. That was so unlucky. Now we have a handful of almost all face cards. Can we finally beat him? Let's play the queen. Nice. We're able to take the queen with our king, and that is victory. Yes, let's win. You dodge the swift attacks of the sphere, landing a wither spell on him. He screams in torment, his body racked in pain, and the sphere collapses to the ground. You finish him off with a word and press on. Oh my god, game! Wow! I would normally reload the game. That was a tough challenge, and he can give you some good rewards, and we gain nothing for it. This is painful. Oh, it's a lab. All right, we might be able to find the thing we need in this room for the brain canister. A mad scientist. You see a strange man hunched over a work table that is cluttered with blueprints, tools, gadgets, and colorful test tubes. He barely takes any notice of you at first, as if he had frequent visitors to the laboratory, which you find highly unlikely. You recognize the man from his odd file almost immediately, Dr. Laszlo Benway. What could he possibly be doing here? There's obviously some strange convergence that's attracting the most notorious and nefarious characters and supernatural entities to this place. We can fight him, which is unbelievably a high challenge. Ben Laszlo challenge level. But it's far better for us to try to talk to him and get a quest completed. Strange bedfellows? This place is downright dangerous. He's not your primary mission objective. Maybe you two could both find a way to help each other out. Ooh, we should definitely use the 7. Hello, 9. You clear your throat, you tap it on the table. Hello, McFly. Anybody home? I haven't got all day, Benway. He studiously ignores you. The insult stings. See if we're any better at it this time. And we are much better at it. We'll use the queen. You clear your throat and take a look Benway straight in the eye when he glances up. You note from his facial expression the recognition that you are an odd agent, and the faintest hint of a smile crosses his face. Yes, I think you'll do just fine, he says. Your arrival is most serendipitous. I have a task for you. You shall be rewarded, of course. Benway wants you to find his lab refrigerator, which also happens to be this house's only refrigerator, located naturally in the kitchen. Fetch a small jar labeled boffin juice, and return it here at once. Let's grab another wands point before I go for the bone of cups. We're encountering lots and lots of things that I want higher wands for. Like warlock doors. We'll come back for that. A giant green ooze. You've come face to face with a green ooze. You didn't even notice it at first. It sticks to the ceiling, hidden in the shadows, waiting in ambush. Suddenly, it drops to the floor with a sickening squishing sound and forms up in front of you. You feel a rush of adrenaline-fueled fear sweep over you. This lab experiment gone bad could mean the end of you. This is a very difficult challenge. Or can be, especially if we don't get... Wow, we failed a horror check miserably. Your mind is weak. You struggle to maintain your sanity. You thought that the last of these Lab 257 experiments had been hunted down and destroyed. It seems that you were wrong. You try and recall the warnings from the briefings. The creature will try and suffocate you by enveloping you in its amorphous slimy tissues. The only way you can beat this in the normal game is to attack it physically. I have added a way for you to combat it magically as well, and the game has increased the difficulty by 2 points. Whenever I've added an option for dealing with something with via a new means, I made the difficulty the same. So here you can see that the game's looking at my stats and thinking this needs to be tougher. Well, so first off, this is very dangerous. This creature, if we fail to win in our first attempt, it will result in a new encounter afterwards, similarly to how the insects work downstairs. But this encounter that we end up in could result in our death. If we're going to use a trump card, we might end up having to use one here. Okay, it's a good hand. It's a good hand. We have a King of Swords, a Knight of Wands. Well, it's an average hand, and a Page of Swords. We need swords to show up there. And we get a swords right away. Let's use the King. We still haven't won, though. Uh-oh. We fail. That sucks, and there's nothing I can do. You waited a bit too long to invoke your spell, hoping to cover as much of the creature as possible. Alas, it could be your undoing. The green ooze envelops you, and you immediately feel the crushing pressure as the slimy tissues that compose the creature begins to crush down on you. The pain is immense. You must keep the thing from squeezing the breath out of you. You put all your efforts into getting free from the killing grip of the creature. Thankfully, with the points and cups, we were able to get out of this. You're not sure how you did it, but you managed to win free of the creature's embrace. You should be more careful next time. I think one of those is an instant death. Oh, we gained some life for that. Let's try this again. And we have a much worse hand this time. Okay, let's use the Knight. You are flipping kidding me. You wait a bit too long to invoke your spell, hoping to cover as much of the creature as possible. Alas, it could prove your undoing. Again, we have to get out. But again, we have a good hand for that, thank God. It's like we're farming it for extra life. This is not what we want to do this with. Oh, come on, game. Alright. One face card, which is usually going to be the case when you play this game. Game absolutely hates you. Let's use a Shrivel Flesh. And we fail to cast it. Oh, sorry. We take damage because we failed. I think we take 1 point of damage. And we do successfully cast it, though. And we actually defeat the creature. Hello, Paige. This is the first time we're seeing a tie. You win ties automatically. So that is fantastic. We'll just... I can't do anything about the 2. I mean, I can play it, but I don't think I have a way to... increase it? No, this could decrease to 7 by 3 points, or also decrease to 3. So we'll just win. The creature's overconfidence proves its undoing. It attempts to engulf you from all directions. When it does, you cast an Ice Nova centered around yourself and catch every inch of the creature in it. You smile to yourself. Overconfidence can be a slow and insidious killer. Well, that should be directed at me, actually, for trying to go through this via magic, but thankfully we won. There was a chance we could gain an item from this creature of some sort, like a grappling hook, a map, a candle, a lantern, or some miscellaneous thing. Hopefully, we will pick up something. It's a decent chance. It's a 10%, I think, chance. And and we have 2 Ores of Luck, I think. It's not guaranteed, though. First aid kit. Alright, we'll take a look at that. Where is it? That went into my cups inventory. Add X points to your health stat where Elks is the sum of your cups and wands attribute. It has 2 uses remaining, and it magically gives me +1 cups. I don't understand why that is. Maybe we could use it a bit to help some nicks and, what is it? How do I pronounce it? Some scratches or cuts we get, I suppose. Or maybe is there something that helps us be immune to poisons, so it helps with our cups? Maybe there was a few pills in this that we took right away. I don't know why it improves our cups +1, but I'm very glad it does. Though I'd be tempted to change it so it doesn't improve your cups, but you can use it to also remove wounds. But whatever, I'll take +1 cups for free. Well, not for free. That was actually really difficult to earn that card, Tim. I think we're going to ignore that question mark. No, we should see what it is. The Ghost Handyman. You are suddenly confronted with the appearance of a ghost that seems to phase in and out of thin air. It stares at you, and then turns away to kneel down and mimic the act of working on something around a sink. Suddenly, ghostly red tentacles leap out of the plumbing, and the ghost works violently. Wow, Tim. You said that correctly. Violently to keep them at bay. Despite all your training, the manifestation sends tendrils of fear deep into your mind. You must steel your resolve and steady your nerves. You can't quite get used to this. Maybe you should check into early retirement if you get out of this. Yeah, I agree. I agree, game. I should. You are watching the ghost of some sort of long-dead handyman go about fixing an imaginary leak on a sink. The ghost begins to whistle a haunting melody and goes about its business, paying you no heed. The red ghost tentacles continue to slip out of the plumbing, and the ghost plumber stolidly works to fix the leak. You sense that the ghost isn't focused on his location. It probably travels all over the estate, making supernatural repairs. Oof, that's not a good chance at all. We'll still try, though. You decide to enter a trance and use your skills as a medium to find out what the ghost is up to. Oh, we can't just leave it alone. Interesting. That's really bad. You fail in a miserable way. I'm just going to write this down really quick. Handyman ghost. Only flee? Question mark. Why? Why is that the case? You attempt to establish contact, but you can't seem to get the ghost's attention. Your head begins to ache. Oh, that was lucky, though. I don't know why this is so difficult. The only thing I could think of is that, again, the game's looking at our stats and saying, oh, he's doing really well. He should have an easy chance at this. But we're actually suffering because we don't get a lot. Oh, I can increase my wands. Darn it. Should do that right away. Anyway, you establish contact and psychically clear your throat. Clear your throat! The ghost looks up at you with a troubled look on its face. It wants your help. I won't be able to fix this without me wrench. Can you go and fetch it for me? I left it around here somewhere. Had a big leak and needed to seal it. These damn things are everywhere. The ghost goes back to its work. It looks like a wrench might indeed help him out. You wonder just what type of wrench he needs. It just occurs to me I left the demon over on the other side of the mansion. We'll go for a bone of cups next. Darn it, how far away is that? Oh, Tim, that's so far away to double back for that. A locked door. What the heck? Target rating of 8. Wow. Improving our stat apparently has just made it tougher for us to open any locks. It seems you overestimate your ability to master this mechanism. You scratch your head in dismay. Game, what the heck are you doing? This, by the way, is because we scried that spot because of that one edge we possess. The lock opens. You are just as talented with the lock as you thought. The mechanism clicks, and you turn the knob to open the door. This is the seance room. I'm gonna leave that alone. I want to level up a tiny bit first. Yeah, that's just freaking ridiculous. What the heck? Sorry, everyone. I'm losing my patience, so I'm going to stop here, because otherwise I'm going to start cursing and swearing at some of this game. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next one. I'll come back and we'll be a little more patient. I guess whoever designed these locks on this side of the second floor is a master locksmith. And even Craig Holden, with his lock edges and incredible amounts of his ability to get through locks, is finding it extremely difficult to get through these doors. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.